We're counting down the 10 most shocking celebrity stalking scandals of recent years, from public attacks and break-ins to chilling digital threats and terrifying plots that tested the limits of fame and security. Each entry reveals a new level of risk, obsession, or violence, leading up to the most extreme case. Which star faced the ultimate ordeal? Let's begin with number 10. On November 13th, 2025, Ariana Grande walked the red carpet at the Singapore premiere of the movie Wicked for Good, when a man broke through security and grabbed her, putting his arm around her shoulders. Co-star Cynthia Erivo stepped in, attempting to pull the assailant away as stunned onlookers watched. Despite 15 security guards stationed behind the cast, none were positioned in front, leaving Ariana exposed at the moment of contact. The man was detained on the spot. The incident quickly drew criticism of event security and raised questions about how such a breach could happen, especially for a performer still living with trauma from past attacks. Next, the pattern of repeated stalking takes an even darker turn. Cherish Gomer's fixation with Post Malone began with trespassing and quickly spiraled into a series of dangerous encounters. In just 7 months, Gomer was arrested 6 times for stalking and for violating court orders. Police body camera footage from February 2025 captured officers reminding her to stay away after she walked up Malone's driveway for the second time. Despite a permanent protective order issued that same month, Gomer returned repeatedly. On August 4th, 2025, she jumped in front of Malone's car as he left home, forcing his driver to swerve. Gomer pleaded guilty to misdemeanor stalking, exposing the limits of restraining orders when obsession overrides consequences. Some stalkers escalate from chronic harassment to violent breaches, sometimes with tragic results. Stay with us. Number 8 is Next. Jennifer Lopez's stalker did not stop at digital harassment. For 2 years, she received a steady stream of voicemails, emails, and messages across multiple platforms. The escalation came in November 2025, when the suspect crashed a vehicle through the gates of her Los Angeles mansion. Police arrested the individual at the scene and collected evidence of the ongoing harassment from Lopez's phone and security system. The impact left the property visibly damaged, and prosecutors filed felony property damage charges. This incident revealed how online threats can quickly become real-world dangers, leaving even the most protected celebrities vulnerable to physical breaches. And sometimes, the danger does not stop at the gate. Between 2019 and 2025, Taylor Swift's homes became targets for a string of stalkers, each incident pushing the boundaries of safety and privacy. The most disturbing breach came when an intruder managed to break into her New York townhouse and was later found by police asleep in her bed. Officers arrested the man on burglary and stalking charges, adding to a growing list of offenders who ignored court orders and security barriers. Swift responded by upgrading her security systems, including installing facial recognition cameras at multiple properties. Even with these measures, the repeated invasions forced her to rethink how she lived and moved, illustrating the profound psychological toll of knowing that no lock or alarm can guarantee true peace of mind. Some threats, though, do not rely on physical presence. They come through screens, messages, and digital shadows. Stay tuned. Next, number 6 is coming up. Cristiano Ronaldo's digital life became a battleground in 2024 and 2025, as waves of obsessive online harassment targeted him across Instagram, X, and TikTok. Hundreds of burner accounts sprang up, many used for coordinated doxing attempts and abusive messages, and some even impersonated his family members. Meta and X issued public statements after mass suspensions, confirming that dozens of accounts violating harassment policies were removed in a single sweep. Portuguese cybercrime authorities tracked activity spanning at least 5 countries, but cross-border enforcement proved slow and uneven. Unlike physical intrusions, these threats could multiply overnight, reaching millions and forcing Ronaldo's management to work with international digital safety teams. The sheer scale and persistence of this harassment revealed how celebrity stalking has shifted from private confrontations to relentless virtual pursuit, raising new questions about protection in a borderless digital world. Even when the threat is not physical, the impact can be just as real. Next, the consequences of long-term stalking take a toll that goes beyond the screen. Selena Gomez's experience with stalking has unfolded over years, not days. Since 2018, she has received persistent threats by message, by mail, and across social media. The volume and intensity forced her to double her security staff on tour and to file for restraining orders, most recently renewed in January 2025. In interviews, Gomez has spoken openly about the toll, living with anxiety, hypervigilance, and a diagnosis of PTSD. She has described how the constant barrage of threats made her fear for her safety at home and in public. Therapy became a necessity, not a choice. The impact is lasting. Her daily life and career now shaped by the need for vigilance. When stalking becomes a shadow that never lifts, the scars are psychological as much as physical. Some cases take a stranger turn when stalkers believe they share a secret life with their target. Stay tuned, more unsettling stories are coming next. 3 packages arrived at Kim Kardashian's security office between February and April 2025, each more unsettling than the last. Inside one, a handwritten letter claimed she was already married to the sender. Another package contained a key labeled as the key to our home, along with photos marked with her initials. Security teams flagged the items for forensic review, and handwriting experts were brought in to analyze the notes. Court filings described the language as obsessive, blending delusion with demands for direct contact. A judge granted a restraining order in May, barring the sender from approaching Kardashian or her family. The case highlighted how physical mail can bypass digital filters, turning routine package screening into a crucial line of defense. Some threats arrive quietly, but their impact is no less real. Even more disturbing, the next case shows how written words can escalate to explicit threats. In April 2025, a series of letters arrived at Beyoncé's management office in Houston. The envelopes were thick, each one packed with pages covered in erratic handwriting and violent language. The sender promised what he called divine retribution and described elaborate punishments, insisting he was chosen for a higher purpose. Security flagged the letters immediately. Houston police logged them as evidence and sent them for forensic review. Latent fingerprints on the paper matched those from a prior harassment arrest in the city. Handwriting analysts noted the same delusional style and threats seen in earlier cases. The FBI was brought in to evaluate the risk, given the explicit promises of violence and the stalker's history. Threat assessment teams weighed the details. Delusion had crossed into direct menace, raising the level of concern beyond obsession. Written threats like these are more than just words on a page. They force a recalibration of every security protocol. Even before a plan is set in motion, the danger is already real. Some cases move from written threats to planned violence, and the next story shows just how quickly that can happen. In December 2012, a chilling plot targeting Justin Bieber came to light when New Mexico State Police intercepted a series of wiretapped phone calls. Dana Martin, serving a life sentence in prison, had enlisted 2 men, Mark Stake and Tanner Ruane, to kidnap and harm the pop star during one of his tour stops. The plan called for abduction, castration, and murder, with Martin providing detailed instructions from his cell. Stake and Ruane traveled across state lines, carrying tools including pruning shears and zip ties. Their journey ended abruptly when Border Patrol agents arrested them near the Canadian border, finding the tools and handwritten notes outlining their intentions. Court records show both men were charged with conspiracy to commit murder and solicitation, while Martin faced additional charges for orchestrating the scheme from prison. Law enforcement credited a confidential informant and timely surveillance for stopping the attack before it could unfold. Even with layers of security, the threat reached closer than anyone expected. Some cases are stopped by chance. Others linger for months, just outside the front door. Billie Eilish's sense of safety at home unraveled when a stalker began camping just across the street from her Los Angeles residence. Court filings from March 2021 detail how the man, John Matthew Hurl, set up camp at an adjacent school, making repeated appearances over several months. Eilish described seeing him nearly every time she left the house, sometimes watching, sometimes sending handwritten threats. The 5-year restraining order granted by the Los Angeles County Superior Court spelled out the danger, but Hurl kept returning, undeterred by legal warnings. Each new sighting forced Billie and her family to call police, never sure if the next encounter would escalate. The fear was constant, woven into daily routines. Simple acts like walking the dog or stepping outside became a risk. Eilish's statements to the court capture the impact. She no longer felt safe in her own neighborhood, and every appearance by the stalker sent her anxiety spiraling. While the restraining order was meant to restore a sense of control, it proved only a partial shield. The threat lingered, close enough to see from her window, and the family's peace never fully returned. In the end, the legal system could offer boundaries, but not the certainty of safety. Among all these cases, Eilish's ordeal stands as a stark reminder. Sometimes, the greatest danger is the one that refuses to leave. Across all 10 cases, one truth stands out. Fame amplifies vulnerability. For celebrities, obsession can cross from adoration to threat in an instant. This pattern exposes how public life carries hidden risks, reminding us that security and peace of mind are never guaranteed, no matter how bright the spotlight.